Hello and welcome to Your World. I'm Stephanie Silitonga and let's begin the first segment of Your World. And in our first segment, the biggest UN aid agency in Gaza condemns 2-month Israeli blockade on Gaza. And from Thailand, 63 confirmed to have died and 31 others missing 1 month since the collapse of the new state audit office in Bangkok's Chatuchak district following a devastating earthquake in Myanmar. Let's have a look.
In an update to journalists in Geneva, Touma stressed thousands of trucks carrying relief supplies continue to be denied entry to Gaza. Destruction to the southern city of Rafah has left it obliterated, UNRWA said. Formerly the largest entry point for aid into the enclave via Egypt, aerial videos purportedly of Rafah show buildings leveled as far as the eye can see. Today, 97% of Rafah has been impacted by forced displacement orders, which have uprooted around 150,000 people. Almost 12 months ago, the Israeli military moved into the Rafah, displacing 1.4 million people and leaving their homes, health facilities, and shelters damaged or destroyed. From Khan Yunis, residents of the Gaza Strip, most of whom are living in tents within various displacement camps, are facing increasing health risks amid warnings of the spread of infectious diseases due to the accumulation of waste and the collapse of sewage systems as a result of the ongoing war. Residents report that the outbreak of insects, fleas, and rodents has become one of the most pressing challenges, driven by severe overcrowding and limited access to basic sanitation services. Speaking in public hearings organized by the International Court of Justice in Den Haag, Netherlands, on Wednesday, Indonesia's Foreign Affairs Minister Sugiono expressed views regarding Israel's obligation in Palestine territory. In his view, Foreign Affairs Minister Sugiono said no country should be above the law in the international arena, including Israel, which consistently imposed its nefarious policies and measures against Palestine. Sugiono said Israel continues to defy the international law in Palestine territory by creating coercive environment. This has made it impossible for Palestinians to exercise their basic rights, including the right to self-determination. From Thailand, Bangkok, Governor Chachart Sittipunt inspected the site of collapsed building at about 6:30 a.m. local time. The height of the mound of debris has now been reduced to about 1.5 meters, which will make it much easier for search teams to locate any human remains still under the rubble. In the morning, the Department of Special Investigation is scheduled to open the impounded cargo containers containing documents of Italian Thai Development and China Railway No. 10, the joint venture responsible for the construction of the Sao building. From Turkey, Gaziantep, 62 villages rebuilt after devastating earthquake with 2,780 rural homes completed. After the February 2023 earthquakes, TOKI Mass Housing Development Administration has completed the reconstructions of 62 villages in Gaziantep with 2,780 rural homes now finished. In Kozdira village, Islahiya, 124 light steel framed houses have been completed and families have moved in. The new homes combine traditional design with earthquake-resistant technology. Work continues in 111 villages with 3,007 additional homes planned for completion by year end. So far, 1,131 families have settled in their new village homes. From Afghanistan, according to UN Refugee Agency, an even deeper humanitarian crisis is looming in Afghanistan as tens of thousands of Afghans are being forced to return from neighboring countries. Tens of thousands of Afghans have been returning through the Torkham border on the frontier between Afghanistan and Pakistan in the month of April. Many were compelled to return and are arriving exhausted, worried, and uncertain about the future. Vulnerable groups, including women and girls, and ethnic and religious minority groups, human rights activists, journalists, and others could be at risk upon return. UNHCR and partners are on the ground to meet their immediate needs. And Thailand's Supreme Court's Criminal Division for holders of political office is due to deliver a ruling on Wednesday. In response to a petition by former Democrat MP Charnchai Isaranesa sa Ayuda for an inquiry into the Corrections Department's handling the imprisonment of former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. Charnchai claims that the department's decision to allow Thaksin to receive medical treatment at the Police General Hospital for 6 months without spending a day in prison was a violation of the Criminal Procedure Code. He is demanding the court order Thaksin to be returned to prison to serve his 1-year term. Meanwhile, New Zealand River with legal rights inspires global movement. It was a principle that was also enshrined in New Zealand law. In 2017, the Te Awa Tupua River, also known as the Wanganui River, became the first river in the world to be given the same legal rights as a human being. This historic decision recognized the river as a living entity with the same rights and responsibilities as a legal person. Meanwhile, a senior executive and 7 engineers from Italian Thai Development PLC reported to the Department of Special Investigation today for questioning regarding their roles and responsibilities in the construction of the State Audit Office building, which collapsed on March 28 as a result of tremors from the devastating earthquake in Myanmar. Police Lieutenant Colonel Amor Horsitong, Chief of Bid Raking Cases Division, said the investigation today will focus on their signatures on related documents and their roles in the project. At least 2 engineers previously claimed their signatures had been falsified and that they had nothing to do with the project.
And continuing with today's editions of Your World, we have a report where Japan's Ishiba and Vietnam's Prime Minister Shin discuss U.S. tariff security ties, among others, on the Japan and Vietnam bilateral meeting. And also, China's top diplomat Wang Yi landed in Brazil for the upcoming BRICS foreign ministers meeting held in the country. Let's take a look.
Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru met with Vietnamese counterpart Pham Minh Chinh on Monday in Hanoi, where the pair discussed a wide range of issues, including the impact of U.S. tariff on the global economy. Vietnam is the first leg of Ishiba's 2-nation Southeast Asian tour. The leaders discussed the impact of the U.S. tariffs and China's countermeasures on the global economy and the multilateral free trade system. Ishiba told Chin that Japan will respond appropriately, as the issue will also affect a large number of Japanese businesses operating in Vietnam. They also exchanged views on the East and the South China Seas, where China is stepping up maritime activities. Meanwhile, the government of India and France have signed a worth 630 billion rupees or $7.41 billion of intergovernmental agreement for the procurement of 26 Rafale Marine combat aircraft in New Delhi. 22 single-seater and 4 twin-seater Rafale aircraft will be used by the Indian Navy. The deal also includes additional equipment for the existing Rafale fleet of the Indian Air Force. The intergovernmental agreement has been signed by India's Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and the Minister of Armed Forces of France, Sébastien Lecornu. In Hong Kong, China's top diplomat Wang Yi has landed in Brazil for the upcoming BRICS foreign ministers meeting. Analysts assess that China will seek deeper cooperation with the member of the group to take on the tariff spat instigated by the US President Donald Trump. Foreign ministers of 10 BRICS member states are poised together in the Rio de Janeiro on April 28 to 29. Their meeting will convene under the theme of strengthening Global South cooperation with discussion on trade, hygiene, and artificial intelligence. In Ankara, Turkish President Erdogan calls the de-escalation between Pakistan and India. President Tayyip Erdogan said on Monday amid tensions between the two nuclear-armed nations following last week's deadly terrorist attack on tourists in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam. He also reiterated a strong support for the people of Pakistan. Erdogan remarks comes after reports surfaced that 6 Turkish C-130 Hercules transport aircraft carrying military cargo had landed in Pakistan on Sunday. From Vietnam, at the presidential palace, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and his wife hosted a solemn welcoming ceremony for Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru and his wife, who were on an official visit to Vietnam. After the welcoming ceremony, the two prime ministers held important talks. The two leaders expressed their delights at developing the Vietnam and Japan Comprehensive Strategic Partnership and highly appreciated the progress made after 2 meetings and exchanges in nearly a year. The two sides also found common ground in enhancing the bilateral relationship. Thailand may be excluded from the list of 10 countries mostly likely to face the imposition of the high reciprocal tariff by the United States. Commerce Minister Pichai Naripatan said yesterday, quoting a source of the U.S. private sector. Although it is not confirmed yet when tariff talks will be held or what issues will be negotiated between the Thai and U.S. delegations. He said that the Thai side have been holding discussions with some American companies, such as Seagate Technology, Thailand. He also stressed that the Thai delegation has been working in proposals for presentation to its U.S. counterparts. Meanwhile, the militaries of the United States and Philippines have for the first time conducted a drone interception exercises on the South China Sea coast. The shoot-down exercises took place on the western part of the Philippine island of Luzon on Sunday. It was part of the joint military drills the two countries have been holding since April 21st, which involved a total of over 14,000 people. In the anti-drone drills, the U.S. military deployed a new mobile air defense system developed to shoot down drones flying at low altitudes. The drills also reportedly confirmed cooperation with the Philippine military surface-to-air missile system. From Hatay, a maritime route connecting the Far East and Middle East, stretching from Insedekerun in the Turkish Hatay province to China, has been launched. The new lines aims to bring the Far East and the Middle East closer together by enabling faster and more cost-effective transportation. Through this new service, ships departing from China reach Insedekerun by passing through the Red Sea and stopping at various ports along the way. The new route will particularly serve major industrial hubs such as Gaziantep, Kahramanmaras, Hatay, Osmaniye, and Adana. Imported goods will mainly including plastic raw materials, yarn, and fiber, while exports will focus on food products and carpets.
And on our third and last segment of the day, praise in South Africa and Senegal hopeful for chance of an African pope to be chosen as a potential pope. And from Japan, manga artists offer illustrations for auctions to help quake hit Noto residents. Here is the complete story for you.
The government of Saudi Arabia, through the Embassy of Saudi Arabia in Indonesia, held an exhibition to showcase strategic relations with Indonesia, as well as to tell the story of Islamic heritage in Mecca and Medina. The Embassy of Saudi Arabia to Indonesia opened the Jusur exhibition, or Bridge exhibition, at Istiqlal Mosque in Jakarta as a celebration of the brotherly relationship between Indonesia and Saudi Arabia, such as the pulpit of Prophet Muhammad, printed copies of the Holy Quran and Hadith, as well as virtual reality facilities that allow visitors to experience a virtual tour of Saudi Arabia. Meanwhile, priests in South Africa and Senegal, hopeful for chance of an African pope. During his pontificate, Pope Francis regularly traveled to parts of the world that are suffering from poverty and wars, including the African continent, where he visited no fewer than 10 countries. There was another reason for this. The Catholic Church is growing fastest in this part of the world, and with it, hopes for an African pope are growing. In 2023, there were an estimated 281 million Catholics on the continent, with millions more added each year. 1 in 5 Catholics is now said to come from Africa. In New Delhi, India, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the YUGM Innovation Conclave at Bharat Mandapam, promoting research and collaboration in science and technology. At the YUGM Conclave in New Delhi, an MOU was signed between Wandowani Foundation, IITS, and Anusandan National Research Foundation to support a 1,400 rupees crore innovation initiative. Prime Minister Modi emphasized the role of talent, temperament, and technology in shaping India's future. From the UK, Princess Kate and Prince William visit Scotland for their wedding anniversary. The Prince and Princess of Wales are spending their 14th wedding anniversary in Scotland on the Isle of Mull. William and Kate will tour the island over 2 days and visit community halls that their royal foundation is helping to refurbish. The couple, who married at Westminster Abbey on April the 29th, 2011, will stay at a self-catering cottage on Mull following official engagements. William and Kate, known by their Scottish titles the Duke and the Duchess of Rothesay, when in Scotland, met while studying at the University of St Andrews. From Japan, a carpet of flowers in vibrant hues of pink, blue, white, and other colors is attracting visitors to a park in Saitama Prefecture near Tokyo. Moss phlox, which is called Shibazakura in Japanese, has been blooming since late April at Hitsujiyama Park in Chichibu City. The park has about 400,000 Shibazakura plants covering a hilly area of around 1.8 hectares at the foot of a mountain. On Sunday, many people were enjoying the fields of flowers in the warm, sunny weather. Some were leisurely strolling through the park, while others were taking photos. Visitors can enjoy the blooms through early May. In Vietnam, the lyrics of the song Continuing the Story of Peace, composed by Nguyen Phan Trung in 2023, have become a sensation in recent days. The song has been paired with images of parades in Ho Chi Minh City and features simple lyrics and a heroic melody, expressing the young generation's gratitude to their forefathers. As the nation turns its heart to the south, Many patriotic songs have been revived and creatively reinterpreted by artists, generating a strong wave of pride on social media. From Hong Kong, the government said a sculpture on display outside the Hong Kong Cultural Center in Tsim Sha Tsui will not be reinstalled there despite completed restoration work. Figures in the sculpture had earlier sparked political concerns. The sculpture named Lining Up was created by the late Taiwanese sculptor Zhu Ming, featuring 10 figures forming a queue including 2 donning yellow raincoats and a woman holding an umbrella of the same color. The artwork had been on public display since 2017 outside the Hong Kong Cultural Center in Tsim Sha Tsui before the social movement unfolded in 2019. The sculpture had been covered by boards since June last year. From Tokyo, Japan, over 200 manga artists are offering their autographed illustrations for a charity action to raise funds to support people affected by the powerful earthquake that hit the Noto Peninsula in central Japan last year. The online auction started on Monday, organized by the Japan Cartoonists Association. A total of 205 artists will be offering 278 original illustrations, which will be sold in 5 installments through June the 1st. Manga artist Nagaiko, who is from Wajima City in the Noto region, was among those who called for the auction. Nagai has donated illustrations of his works such as Devilman and Mazinger Z. Meanwhile, Eber Lake, located in the Bolvadin district of Afyon Karahisar, is currently hosting charming seasonal visitors. Among the migratory birds stopping over at lake are flamingos, locally known as aliterna. These striking birds are expected to remain in the region for about a week. The lake, an important wetland ecosystem, continues to serve as a vital rest stop for numerous bird species along their migration routes. Animals at Chimelong Park in Guangdong. Located at Tingyuan City's Chimelong Park in Guangdong Province, visitors can see an assortment of newly born animals including cougars, Siberian tigers, Asian black bears, and Arabian baboons. Some of them are only a few weeks old.
And that concludes our episode for Your World this week. I'm Stephanie Silitonga. Thanks for watching and see you next time.